first and foremost, I want to thank you for coming on the platform. This is definitely an honor. I appreciate you. You know, everything you're doing for the culture, you did and continue to do, especially, you know, coming from the Midwest. That's major. For the viewers who they may not recognize you or know who you are, let them know what your name is and definitely where you're from.
My name is Rose Spit. From Pontiac, Michigan, representing Detroit, representing Michigan, representing the Midwest.
Okay. Yeah, man, I was checking out your profiles and stuff online, so it's like you into a lot of stuff. So I guess I want to ask you, like, when did you kind of fall in love with fashion?
Oh man, it's always been there. I don't even. It wasn't like a time. Some of my earliest memories have to do with like shoes and clothing. You know what I'm saying? Like as far back as my brain can take me. I remember like doing stuff around the house for my around my auntie's house, so she would buy me a pair of shoes, stuff like that. So it's just something I always been around, man. I always paid attention to like, even going, thinking about like hip hop back in the day, Run DMC and LL Cool J, and just kind of what they were wearing and how they were wearing it. I was always like enamored by it.
Okay. Now I can ask you, do you recall like a moment where you felt like you wanted to take it to a next level? Like, you know, because our people in our culture, we all kind of love fashion, but to actually get into like opening stores and designing clothes, you know what I'm saying? Like, what influenced you to take it to that next level?
Man, I was working at Enterprise Rental Car, and it was a crazy time in my life. I was kind of like just trying to figure stuff. I was younger, obviously. Like I went to college, but I didn't graduate, so I was just trying to figure what my life was gonna look like, and have been thinking about it a lot. And then I was a transporter, so I would go pick people up from either the airport, or or like from another from like the dealership or something like that. And I was driving this particular day, it was like a Jaguar or Benz or something like that, and I had to pick up a guy, and we were just talking, man. It was an older white guy, and he was kind of talking to me about, you asked me like what I had going on, and I was just like, man, nothing. You know what I'm saying? And he told me, find the things that you're into and that you're passionate about, and then find a way to make money from it. And then, at the time if I'm remembering right, like girls and basketball. And I'm like, I'm not finna be a pimp, right? And I'm not going to the NBA. And the other thing I was into was sneakers. So I'm like, let me find a way to, kind of make business out of it.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's definitely a dope state of mind to have because you only get one life, and you know, for a lot of people that come from our culture, the first thing on our mind is getting that bag. But you know, you want something more fulfilling. Sometimes you might get that bag, but hate what you're doing or don't like what you're doing. But to be able to do what you love and be successful at it and take care of your family, that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, because like what made the most sense to me, and I learned this later. He didn't tell it to me in that conversation, but what I learned later is that money comes and goes, right? Money's gonna be there, then money's gonna not be there. So what the reason for having to be a level of passion for you is because you got to keep doing it even when the money not there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm 17, 18 years in, and there's been a lot of times where I thought it was over, and a lot of people that was right next to me quit and gave up, or like moved on to something else. But my passion for it kept me here because I see like the long haul. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's definitely inspiring, man, to hear that because some people don't even work a gig that long. You know, like I've been on the job 18 years, but to be able to, you know, withstand the ups and the downs and still be at it and doing great things, that's what's up. Now I can ask you, were you getting into hip hop at the same time simultaneously, or did like one come before the other?
Nah, man, it's all kind of coincide, or like it was all coexisting, man. Like I said earlier, some of my earliest memories had to do with sneakers, but it came from hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So like as far as I'm like a a baby of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was born when it was starting. So when it was growing up, I was growing up right with it, and it's something that it shows in everything I do. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's something I can't wipe it off. I can't take it off. It's gonna be there at some level. So when it came to being a part of hip hop, I started DJing at first, and it just came from just loving music, man, and just being the person that was seeking music, seeking new, whether whatever it was, whether it was like mixtapes, when Clue and Funk Flex and all them was doing mixtapes coming out of New York when it was tough to get. I was, somehow finding it. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't really going back and forth to New York, but it would always make its way to me. So at that point, I'm like, let me try to start playing this music for people that feel the same way I do. And then I kind of got into DJing like that. I always wanted to be a rapper. I tried my hand out at it early before I started DJing actually, and I felt I was terrible at it. And then I was around a crew of guys DJing who I thought still feel are some of the dopest MCs to ever walk this earth. I've seen them do things lyrically and musically that I haven't seen anywhere else, and they don't really get the recognition that they deserve. But it made me see something, and it sharpened me to I started rapping, and this went on my own path, and kind of here now from that.
Yeah, that's what's up. Now I gotta ask you this: like coming from Pontiac, in terms of like the hip hop scene, did you feel like any I guess pressure from like say maybe Detroit or maybe even Flint or like different cities? Like I'm from Cleveland, so like we got like Akron, we got Toledo, we got sometimes smaller cities, and sometimes it could be competitive or sometimes it could be more welcoming. So like, what was your situation in terms of that, like dealing with music and trying to get to the next level?
Yeah, it was a little bit of both, man. It was we were well received. You know what I'm saying? Like we made friends with like a lot of cats in the Detroit scene. It was tough because they were, a lot of those guys grew up together. It went to the same schools, and they knew each other even before rap. So some new guys coming in, it's like, who are they? But then when they saw what we were about, we ain't coming down there trying to battle, like, take y'all spot. We just trying to, cement our foot in the ground. And we were well received. A lot of times the tough part though is being from a small city, and when as you start to grow, you want to shout that city out, and you want to do everything to represent that city. But a lot of places you go, all they care about is the big city that you're near, right? So we used to go places and talk about, we go on this radio station, we gonna say we from Pontiac, man, and this, that, and the third. And then we tell the people when we get there, and then they say, man, growing up in Detroit. And it's like, well, I didn't grow up in Detroit. But then you get tired of saying, like, repeating the same thing over and over. But then at that point, people where you from, like, oh, they not repping where we from. And it's like, well, no, I tried, what I'm saying? Like, we started, and that's all we say. But then people from the big city is like, man, you ain't grow up like me, dog. You're not from where I'm from. So I get it. I understand both ways. But once you get to a certain point, it's like, a certain level, it's kind of like, man, you can't please everybody. So I do my best at saying where I'm from, and and I get it, right? People on that grew up off of 7 Mile and grew up off of McNichols and these places, man. They people have died to say like, I'm from this place. It's literal blood, sweat, and tears, and a lot of memories, man. So I would, I never would, and we would never put ourselves in that space to be like that. But like I said, we would. One of the first trips I remember, I think we was going to Wisconsin, to University of Wisconsin, to do a show, and we had to do the radio show, and that's what the whole 10-hour, 12-hour trip we was talking like, man, when we get here, dog, we gonna say we from Pontiac. We're gonna be like NWA. They put Compton on the map. We're gonna put Pontiac on the map, and and I'm talking about for 12 hours. Get there, tell the people that, listen, we're from Pontiac, Michigan. Don't say we from Detroit. Don't say we from Flint. Don't whatever. And as soon as we get on there, man, we from Pontiac. It's 20 miles south of Detroit. I mean, north of Detroit, 20 miles south of Flint. Man, we like right in the middle. We this, that, and that. And then the next question is, so growing up in Detroit, it was cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was straight. It was hard. It was rough, you know.
Yeah, man, indeed. But like I say, it could be a beautiful struggle because, like I say, like maybe like you say with Easy E, they probably for so long they be like, we from Compton. They be like, oh, that's Los Angeles, right? And then
Yeah,
finally go like straight out of Compton. Now the whole world could say Compton and know what you're talking. But they from LA, but they from Compton. You get it, you
exactly.
know.
Yeah. And the dope thing about it is, man, like I take pride in, you know, I'm not saying us being the first, because there was definitely people who came before us, right? That made it to levels that were able to say, get on a platform and say they was from Pontiac. But I take pride in in me and my crew uh, being some of the forefounders of, like, you know, now you hear Pontiac, and it's mainly because of like battle rap, you know, like Ill Will, JC, Mac Myron, like some of the dopest battlers in the game are from Pontiac. So now it's easier to say, right? It's easier to say because it's like, oh, well, now, so we get Pontiac because they scream it from the top of their lungs. You know what I'm saying? And they on stage and they talking literally to millions of people. So now it's easier for me to say I'm from Pontiac, and people get it. People, you know, it makes sense to them. Like, oh, I heard dog cooking dog, and that's all he talked about was Pontiac. You know, so I give them much props and much respect for that, because they 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 had to go up in some crazy places, and you know, niggas, because most niggas like, who Pontiac, like, who. Now imagine being on a battle rap stage and a nigga say he from Pontiac and the whole crowd laugh and shit. You know what I'm saying? So they've been there and they've been in front of them crowds, but they now it's a level of respect that comes with it when when people hear Pontiac, and I give them props for that.
Yeah, big shout out to those guys. Definitely respect it. And I wanted to ask you a little bit about Burn Rubber and 218. If you could talk about how did you get into that and what's the difference between those two?
Yeah, so they both my sneaker stores, sneaker clothing stores. I got into Burn Rubber, just having a love for sneakers, man, and that from that conversation with that guy I was talking about earlier, it kind of just, you know, it took some time, but it came to me like, that's what I want to do. I want to open my own sneaker store, and you know, that's like the first thought of it, and then it kind of transpired into me like purchasing and existing, like the store was open. Burn Rubber was open for like 3 or 4 years, and then I bought it, and then, you know, I had a business partner early on, and we grew it to whatever, and then me and him parted ways, but I kept the business, and then I took it to a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? And from that, I had the opportunity to, you know, just being a good partner with Nike and Jordan and Adidas and all these different brands, and they gave me an opportunity to open a store downtown Detroit, it's called 218, and it's an extension of Burn Rubber. You know, going back to my, like I said, everything I do is gonna have some hip hop somewhere in it. So 218 comes from uh, basically like the B is the second letter of the alphabet and the R is the 18th letter. You know what I'm saying? And that comes from the how I came up with that is like, my name is Roland, but I don't think of the 18th letter when I think of my name. I think of, every time I hear the letter R, I think of Rakim, and I think of the 18th letter. You know what I'm saying? So that's always the thing that's just been there. So we tried to open a store. It was originally supposed to be called BR by Burn Rubber, but Banana Republic owns the copyrights or the trademarks to BR next to each other or some craziness. So we got cease and desist letters and all that. So as a you know, kind of FU to corporate America, you know, I came up with 218, and then we had opened that up, and then it didn't do well. We shut it down, but then I brought it back around with when I got the opportunity to open a new store.
Oh, that's dope how you flipped it, man. That's what's up. Now, if you could talk a little bit about the Jordan collabo, because I was looking online, like you actually had something to do with the the sneaker or something like that, the design or something.
Yeah, it's our shoe. So we got the opportunity with Jordan Brand to design like literally design a shoe, not a custom. It was we me. I have a design team led by my man. He's from Detroit. He lives in Illinois now, but Mario Butterfield. And then but he's like the catalyst. He's like my go-to guy because he has some amazing ideas and thoughts and everything. But it's just a collaboration between myself, him, my man Jay John, Alex, a couple people on my team, and we came up with the story, we came up with the marketing, we came up with the obviously the design. Jordan Brand produced it, and they got behind us 100%, and literally made history, man. Did something that only a handful of black men, not even literally a whole had the like, all I know is like two or three, let alone different like a store uh that had that opportunity, man. So we knocked it out the park. Pretty much sold out all over the world. um Kind of carved out our space in the history books, and moving forward from that. We got some other things coming up with Adidas next year. That's gonna be crazy. Some potential things coming back around with Jordan Brand, maybe even Nike. So just kind of going up from there. But yeah, it was amazing, man. It was like I still get chills when I talk about it and think about it, and just to be able to see people all I just got a message from somebody. They were somewhere, I don't even know, like somewhere maybe like Hawaii or something, and they saw a white guy walking down the street with my shoe on, and they couldn't get a picture, but they like it blew their mind. And then the flip side of it is, man, just being chosen. you know I don't give the choosing to Nike and to Jordan. That came from a higher power, right? So even put it in their mind to choose me, and just to be chosen as one of those people that could be put in position to spark something in somebody else, right? Because it's kids that don't even know that they could design a shoe. It's kids that couldn't even imagine working with Jordan Brand, but to see somebody that look like them, somebody that act like them, somebody that talk like them, that somebody that live where they live, or is from where they from, did that. It's that's what really blows my mind, man. And and I'm just thankful for it.
Yeah, bro, that's phenomenal. I mean, Jordan, already know that's a staple in our community. That's like top shelf. I mean, to even be people dream of even just having access to those type of clothes, to be able to have them in their collection. Like, it's people that collect Jordans, but for you to actually design a pair, or in any level, in any regard, you know what I'm saying? That's just phenomenal. Because, like you say, sometimes you just can't. A lot of people growing up just can't see that far. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that's very, very inspiring. That's dope.
But
Let me see. Now I can ask you now, are you designing like shoes, clothes, coats? Like, what's the spectrum of your design and your clothing line and your stores and everything?
everything we do it all, man. We so like over the years, like that was so the Jordan Brand was the most recent shoe collaboration. But all in all, over the years between Burn Rubber, from Burn Rubber, we did, I mean, probably almost 20 shoes, from New Balance to Puma to Fila to Reebok, like so we've done that before, but Jordan Brand is like the pinnacle, is the top tier. But we've always designed clothes, t-shirts, hoodies, jackets, all kind of crazy stuff, man. Like little vinyl toys, we try that. We've done watches, jewelry, what I'm saying? Like all my jewelry I wear to, I came up with the idea and I designed it, put it together, what I'm saying, and then they produce it. But yeah, it doesn't stop. Whatever. Like if somebody could come to me and the Pistons could come to me and ask me to you know, do their basketball court for next season. Me and my team gonna figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, my man Mario, his mind is next level. So even places that's why I love working with him, right? Because I have a next level mind, but then there's these things. It's this otherworldly places people can take their mind to not like that's not even realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the things he say is like, man, that is impossible to do, but it stretches you further to like push for something better, and it always makes everything come out better. You know what I'm saying? So as long as he got breath in his lungs, as long as I got breath in my lungs, we're gonna work together. We've been cool for I don't know how long, feel like forever, but we got a good work chemistry. And I try to give him his props, give him his credit, because man, he's done so much stuff in music behind the scenes. Like at one point, not even one point, he was Proof's hype man. You know what I'm saying? Like he did early designs, help with early designs for Maurice Malone. You know what I mean? Like he goes back, and it's crazy. We like the same age. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit. He designed almost every hip hop artist. In the 90s and 2000s, working in Detroit, from Black Milk to Payroll to Marv One to us to like anybody you could think of. He's probably done some design work for them for their cover. You know what I mean? Like some D12. I want to say Eminem is like at every level he's worked with everybody, and it's done at a level of quality that is unmatched. So.
Yeah, man, that's a blessing. I mean, to be around like minds and dope people, because we all have ideas and dreams, and if you try to like bounce your ideas off the wrong people, it could backfire on you. You
Yeah.
like, what you think about this? What you think about that? They're like, man, that sounds crazy. That ain't gonna work. How you gonna do that? They gonna shoot you down before you even get going. Versus you having somebody like, man, that shit sounds dope. Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah, and that's what I try to do, man. I got that's who I surround. I don't surround myself with people. Like I'll be around people, but I don't, like you said, I don't bounce ideas off of people that I know that it's just some people. Their first thing is to be like, you can't, and it's like, bro, that's not what I want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Like even like I said with somebody like Rio, when he goes so far, it's not that it's physically impossible to do. That's why we can't do it. But let's try to get there as close to there as possible. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have that mindset, or people around you that has that mindset to like, nah, man, that is impossible. But shit, at some point, there wasn't a basketball, right? Now niggas dribble basketballs every day. At some point, there wasn't a car, and people would have said it's impossible. But you work until you get to making a car, and now niggas is driving, $500,000 cars and shit. So I gotta have those people around me, man. I have zero tolerance for people that say I can't do something, or just this negative on a lower vibration. I can't. I've been there before, man. I've been in a lower space, and it's not healthy for me, and it's not healthy for the people around me. So, but like literally by any means necessary. I don't give you my mama. They're not saying my mom does that, but like if my mom was that kind of person, I would not be around her. I would go say, be hi, mom, blah, but no, it's not. Once we get to certain, I can't do it. And if you can live in that space, that's cool. But that's just something I can't have around me.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you sharing that. That's important for the viewers, man, because like you say, it do start in your mind. Like whoever invented the airplane, people probably thought they was out of their mind. Like you gonna
Lunatic.
fly?
I would have put them on a stake and burned them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Man. Yeah, yeah. Now I can ask you, let me see, we're about 25 minutes in. So you had kind of touched on it a little bit earlier about upcoming projects. You got anything upcoming with the music? I seen you was in some films a little bit. Are you doing any upcoming thing with that side of the industry, or anything that we might not know about, a book, a documentary, or we could look forward to?
yeah. So my main thing right now is acting. And that's kind of like it's it's the shit right now for me, man. It's taking all my effort, my energy. I have some music coming. It was recorded a couple years ago, but it's getting wrapped up now. But that's not, to be honest, it's not really my focus. If it comes out, it's dope. I hope people hear it. If it don't, I'm cool. I'm kind of like, my mind is that I'm retired from music. Other than what's not, like, I guess you can never be really retired, because I'm still writing stuff. I still I'll do a song with somebody. But as far as pursuing something musically, if it comes out and one person hears it, beautiful. If nobody hears it, beautiful. If a million people hear it, beautiful. But acting is something that I'm taking very seriously. It's a passion. I'm getting better at it. I'm constantly working towards being better, taking classes and studying and doing these things, man. I want to be not just a Tubi actor. I don't want to be independent is cool, but the thought process what people think of Tubi, everything I'm doing is I'm trying to step up from that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing the right movies, not the most movies. Some of the better storytelling. I'm trying to be a part of those, the higher quality things like that. DJing, when I'm not doing that, I'm DJing. That's my original passion. I used to always say, I never got caught up in rapping because I always felt like people look at me as a rapper, but I never felt like a rapper. I felt like a DJ that rhymed. So I never cared if niggas was better than me or thought they was better than me. I was just rapping, man. Because at the end of the day, I'm not even a rapper. I'm a DJ. So as I'm getting older, I'm getting back into like DJing and having like an open format, and I can play whatever I want to play. I don't do weddings. I don't do birthday parties. You're not finna tell me to play no song. You just, once again, everything for me is organic, man. So if I do a party and 10 people come, those 10 people want to hear me, man. Hopefully I can make some money. But if 1,000 people come, I'm gonna give them the same energies I get them 10 people. And it's been working for me. But that's really it. The acting, I just had a movie premiere yesterday for a movie that I'm the lead in. It's really my first complete lead. Like, I'm the lead in the movie. It's like my first one, it was incredible. You know what I'm saying? It was incredible to see. That was the first time I saw it, was last night at the premiere. It'll probably be on Tubi in probably a couple months, more like August or something, September, maybe like July, August, I think. That's called Loyalty Over Trust. H Block is supposed to come out today I think it's going to be on Vimeo first, but it was a premiere for that yesterday. I couldn't even go to it because I had the other one. But from some of the stuff, people that went saying it was amazing. I got a dope role on that, and I got like 4 or 5 movies already out on Tubi, and you can go check them out. And that's really it, man. That I work out. I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I'm always focused. The main thing is my business is Burn Rubber in 218, because that's the foundation to allow me to be able to do all these other things. So I keep a keen eye on that, you know what I'm saying, and making sure that's running healthy and doing what it's supposed to do, so I can be healthy mentally, physically, emotionally, like all of that stuff.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Mental health is major, is a necessity. But yeah, man, that's very inspiring. I'm gonna have to check out some of those films. I'm glad you hit us off with hit it. Yeah, if you got like a website, or is everything on social media? What's the best way for
Nah,
people
yeah, I
to
mean,
do it?
yeah, it's all on social media. I think you could go to like Tubi and search Roast Spit, and some of those movies will come up. But the ones that I could think of off the top of my head is The Wrong One. It's a movie called The Wrong One. I'm in Street Legal. It's like a series. I'm in the first episode of that. It's a movie called Quick Money, Quickmoney, that I'm in. A movie called Moet that I have a small role in. That's dope. It's another movie. I can't think of the name of it right now. It just came out. It's like Don't Trust. Oh, hold on one second. Let me look it up. It's called like Trust. She just sent me a text. This movie is called Don't Look Back. I got a small role in that. And yeah, man. So I think that's everything that's out. It's a couple more things that'll be dropping like any day. You know, they're like already filmed, but they can drop whenever. So yeah, just be looking forward to that. And I'm about to start writing movies. Like I'm taking my energy from writing raps to starting to write movies, man, and kind of tell those stories in movie form, trying to, you know, get better. Like my whole thing is, man, I never said I was the best, and I'm never really trying to be the best. I'm just trying to be better than I was yesterday, and not even by a lot, man. So I like, one of the things that I appreciate about artists and creatives is their journey. You know what I'm saying? Like I started thinking back about like why do I love Jay-Z so much, right? Why do I love Drake? You know what I mean? Why do I love these artists, these rappers that I love? And it's because I remember when Jay-Z was in a Lexus with a hat, you know, with like a little hat on and you know, a leather coat, to when he got to the point where he was wearing big chains. And you know, I love the growth, and I love how they get better. Sometimes they're not better. You know what I'm saying? Like but that's just human nature. That's just life. And a lot of people if you don't understand a creative, if you don't understand an artist, you don't, from the outside looking in, people can be very whatever, I don't know the word, I'm just escaping me right now. They can be very judgmental on an artist and how they, you know, I don't say somebody's whack. It's like it's not. That's what was going on in their brain. Maybe it didn't touch me like the last thing they did, like the last project they did, or the last whatever. But that don't mean it's whack. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's what they were going through at that time. So I just, like I said, I just try to be better. I just try to be a little more creative. You know, you don't know what they were fighting from the labels. You don't know. So I just try to give people that grace. And you know, I can't even say I really asked for that grace for me. I just hope people, whatever I'm trying to portray, whatever I'm trying to say, I hope people get it. And I know everybody's not gonna get it. And you know, I just hopefully they'll move on and not hate on it, and it just not be for them, you know.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But man, yeah, thank you again for coming on the platform, man. I truly appreciate, you know, everything that you already accomplished, and I'm definitely looking forward to checking out some of those projects, man. So I
I
want to thank
appreciate
the
it.
viewers yeah, no
Thanks for
doubt.
having me, bro.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Gotta thank the viewers for tuning in too. It's been a phenomenal episode of Taye Speaks. So until next time, peace.
Sir.